welcome back to our Ford Transit conversion series.
So we've got the Jumbo Transit, which is pretty big. So what we're going to do now is install a dash cam / reversing camera into the van so that we can actually see out the back when we're driving, and also just make parking a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's quite difficult at the moment.
So we're doing a bit of research about what kind of camera to put in, and we've gone through a few different choices. There is a spec of our van, the trend spec, which comes with a LCD screen here and has a reversing camera on the back, I think in the brake light. So at first we were looking to see whether we can take this panel out and put in the original LCD screen here.
Seemed like a lot of work though, didn't it?
Seemed like a lot of work, and also it's a tiny screen. So then we thought, actually, no, let's not do that. We didn't really want to get one of the ones where you just have a screen on the dash. You want to keep it clean and have it more seamless integrated. So the other thing you could do is clip it onto the reverse mirror. As you can see, we also don't have a reverse mirror. So we were going to just buy a cheap mirror, stick it there, and then there's loads of cameras you can get where the screen clips onto the mirror. But it seemed a bit pointless to buy a mirror just to cover it up and put something else on. So we had a look to see if there was anything we could get there's actually a mirror and screen all in one, and we can just put that one there. And we found one, and it was on special offer on Amazon.
Yay!
So we've gone with the Autovox V5 Pro.
Yeah.
It's basically a rear mirror with the screen inside, and because we've gone for the full front and back dash cam, it's got a dash cam on the front as well. So that is going to go there. There's lots of pieces, but in theory it's fairly straightforward. Just gotta get cracking really, see if we hit any problems along the way. We've got all the bits from the camera, the GPS chip, fuse taps, the cable for the reverse camera, 6m one to go to the back, the reverse camera itself, the screen and the power wire, and the plates to fix it to the windscreen. We've got the drill, some drill bits because we're going to have to drill a hole in the barn doors to put that through. We've got some plastic trim tools. This is the VHB very high, or hopefully very high bond tape, so it should be strong enough to stick the screen to the windscreen. Sigaflex here, which we've actually got for most of the other bits of the van, which haven't been opened yet. Got some sandpaper just to clean up the hole which we drill, some red oxide, and then I've got some electronic stuff. I've got a multimeter, voltmeter, just so we can test out the fuses. That's all the kit. Now we've just got to get to it.
Right, so fuse box locations.
There are 3.
Engine, passenger, and body control.
Pull the tab. See that? There you go. Well, it came off. So there is the first fuse box, and just in there is the second fuse box. So this is the wiring diagram. So it's not too complicated. There's actually 5 cables coming off there, but one of them is really hard to see. One is going to the camera at the back via the extension cord. One is the GPS receiver. One is the ground, and then 2 are the power that are going into the fuse box, which both have the adapters. So we basically need to put in 2 fuses, connect to ground, stick this to the window, drill this and put it into the back of the van, as in drill a hole for that, put the cable through, and stick that to the windscreen. And that's it. Easy, right?
Sure.
Hopefully easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to find 2 fuses, one that's got constant power, one that's got switch power, and there's a good grounding point just below the pedals here, which I'm using, and then the engine is currently off. It's quite hard to access, which is why we decided just to go with this panel here. And if I test these, like this one here, it's got power when the engine is off, and then this one, for example, there's nothing there at the moment. But if I turn on a couple of clicks on the keys, then if I get the right point, then we have just under 12 volts coming through there. So basically all of this side and this one here is switched power, which means it only comes on when you switch the key. and this top row and down there. So I've got to find a good 2 out of that basically. The other thing that I've learnt is that with these fuse taps, if you put it the correct way round, then both of the circuits get fused. If you put it just 180 degrees the wrong way round, then you can effectively end up wiring it in series and drawing too high a current through the original circuit, which could blow that fuse if the current draw is too high, which basically we want to avoid. So that is why you do not want to put it on something critical, and also you've got to check to make sure it's the right way around. I can see that it's the right side here that has power, and not the left side, at least on my vehicle. I want to put it that way around. So this guy just goes back in there to complete that circuit. So now we've got the original one from the van and the new one that's going to be going down this wire to our camera. Alright, so I've wired everything in situ down here just as a test. So in theory, right now, everything is powered in, apart from the reverse light camera trigger wire, but shouldn't need that to test it. So hopefully, when I turn the ignition, something will happen. Let's see if it works. Turn the ignition, and oh, I thought it wasn't working for a second. There we go. So now we've basically got to figure out where we're going to wire the cables, where we're going to put the camera, and then we've got to properly wire this in, obviously. So yeah, but it's all working good. Very nice. Okay, so we've got this panel off now. Actually, it wasn't too bad in the end. It's just a bit of trial and error trying to figure out which clips. So this whole bit of trim comes out. Just gotta be careful because it is still connected to to the headlight dial at the moment. Now we can actually get access in here, so we can run the cable down and through this opening here. Alright, so it got a bit dark yesterday, so we paused and decided to carry on this morning, but today it is freezing instead. So in fact, overnight it was, I've got a sensor, temperature sensor, thermometer inside and outside the van, and when I first came out this morning it was showing -6 inside Celsius and -3 I think it was outside. So now we have to just run this cable from the mirror up the A trim here all the way around and under the headliner, and then come out down here and fix it to the mirror there, which we also have to glue to the screen. So that is this morning's job. If the adapters mentioned are not suitable, glue the bracket base onto the windshield. Adapter 4, which is this one, which is dot 4. So what we're going to do is this should go in there, and then we just need to stick that to there using this.
Nice.
Hopefully we'll stick it. Then we just got to connect up the cable. So we've hooked in the GPS down there, which is that black one hanging down at the moment, and it's going all the way up the A pillar, around the corner, and then down the other side, and then we're just going to put it on the corner of the dash there. So now I'm going to get the camera and just feed it through there and under there, and then along here. Alright, so the camera is now stuck up there just with tape for now, just so we can do a test. And then we've got the wire coming, it's actually going through inside the metal here. It's not this one, this was already here for the lights. And we've got it coming out there and then down here. And then this is the trigger cable, which we need to get to the reverse light wire. So we just need to figure out now which of these wires is the one for the reverse light. So if you just switch the key around just a couple of notches, Again, you can hear the camera powering up in the front. Nice little jingle it's got. One of these should come on only with reverse. Is it in reverse now?
Mm-hmm.
If you turn it off reverse, Abby. Okay, and it's back to just random jitter. And back onto reverse again to check. Great. So this green and brown wire here on this clip is the power for the reverse light. Alright, so we've got some wire here that's rated at 5 amps, so should be okay for extending this. So just going to take, do you reckon, a couple of feet? Now test out to see if the extension actually works. So I've just taken the extended wire and put it into the green and brown wire, which we know is the reverse wire now. So now, when Abby in the front hopefully sticks it into reverse, it'll trigger the screen.
Yay!
There we go. Probably can't see it from here, but we've got the parking lines come up, so great. We need to feed that wire down, so trick we just developed now.
You developed.
You developed, yeah. I developed this, is just attach it to the tape, and I just fed the tape all the way up, attached it on, and then just pulled it back down. It's worked really nice.
Very clever, Timothy.
So we decided in the end to actually cut the reverse light wire. Just thought we could get better connection there. So then what we've done is we've spliced in, using just a couple of butt connectors, an extra piece of wire that's just under there. So now all that's left is to connect these two together. Heat shrink these. Remember to put these on before we connect the wires. And then just wire it back and check that the reverse light still works. So put it in reverse, Abby. Reverse light comes on nicely. And is it triggering the screen? Cool.
So, slight snag. We came out this morning to find that our entire mirror unit has just fallen off the screen, including the mounting bracket that it was on. So we think probably we were a little bit too hasty with putting it up there straight away. And also because of the temperature, it's 2 degrees, and looking back at the instructions it says it should be between 21 degrees and 38, so yeah, I think we're gonna have to try that one again.
Okay, done. So we put that back on. Hopefully this time it will actually stick. Okay, so it's been 3 days, actually a little bit over three and a bit days now. So hopefully we can finally put this mirror back on and have it not fall off.
Once and for all.
So that didn't work. So we've gone and ordered some actual rear view mirror glue this time. Okay, so we've got our camera mounted out here just with some masking tape at the moment. We're trying to figure out exactly where to put it. This just allows us to shut the door ridiculously close, but I mean it actually looks, it's not that bad from up here, but from down below it looks like it's going to hit it, but it's about maybe half a centimetre. But if this is mounted fixed, then hopefully that should be right. And then we've just been trying to figure out where to get the cable to go. I think what we're going to do is drill a small hole just next to the camera here, and then we'll have the cable just coming around here like this and then going through a hole there into the van. Right, first time drilling into the van. Hopefully you won't screw it up.
Like you just did when you said. Do you want to try that again?
Okay, first time drilling into the van. Hopefully we're not going to screw it up. Well, I'm not going to screw it up. Put some glass on, just be safe. Bits going everywhere at the moment. And we're through.
Nice.
We have a hole.
Woohoo!
Not quite big enough yet. Need to step it up a little bit, but we have a hole.
We have a hole. Good
Yeah.
job.
Hopefully, it's in the right place. We're not going to regret it. So the camper van builder's rite of passage. I've drilled my first hole into our shiny van, which actually has come out okay. I'm quite happy with that. Ooh, just fits. So we're just heating up that little grommet. Going to stick it in that hole. We've put a tiny little bead of red oxide just around the edge, just as an extra precaution, and then hopefully this will be supple enough after it's gone a bit soft to just fit through there with a bit of pressure. I think it is in.
Alright, so we're really close to finishing now. We've got the light back in with the W4 tape underneath it. The bracket for the camera, Tim's just trimmed it off at the top with a little saw, just so that it's flush with that line. We've stuck it on with VHB tape, and now just going to stick a flex inside the grommet hole there, just to stop any water from coming in, and then we'll be done.
So you can see there the camera just under the brake light with the little grommet for the wire going in. So quite tidy install, quite happy with that. Considering we've never drilled into the van before, that's not too bad. So we are finished with the install. All that is left now is to test it. All the trim is back on and nice. The wires are tucked up with a little cable tie just in there before we pop that on. Yep. And all hidden here and all mounted around the back. So now it is time for the test.
Are we ready?
Nice little welcome jingle.
I thought it wasn't going to come on then. Right, so we haven't taken this protective screen off yet. This is the most...
There we have the view out of the back.
There is still a little protective film on the front camera.
Alright, let's take this off.
Ready? Here
Let's
we go.
unveil the camera. The big unveiling.
Ah.
That is a nice crisp screen.
Ooh, that's so satisfying.
That actually looks pretty good.
Awesome.
So I was trying to figure out how to test whether the G sensor is working. So when it's in parking mode, which is now, it should come on whenever there's a impact basically. So yeah, if someone drives into you, it will detect that and start recording. You can turn this off. We've got it on. So all I basically have to do is simulate someone crashing into our van, which I can do by just whacking this door. So hopefully this will work. And there we go. You can see that that's triggered the parking mode. Yeah, so it's a really nice bit of kit. We really like it. Actually, quite like the little jingle. Might get annoying at some point, but right now we quite like it. It's it's quite nice. It's welcome. About to start going. Adventure awaits, kind of thing. It's going to be hopefully really useful. I'm looking forward to trying it out on the motorway and actually seeing this in action properly. Right now you can just see some fields.
Give us a like and subscribe below if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.